It's Lithuanian Dream Podcast. Each week, we share ideas from contemporary Lithuania. Hello, guys. Today, we will be speaking with the head of Global Lithuanian Leaders Network. She will tell us about her 10 years experience of working with different global initiatives. Hello, Aušra. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited about having conversation with you because you worked with many different initiatives around the world. So let's start from 2009 when you joined in a project of singing Lithuanian national anthem around the world. Can you tell us the story of this project?
Yes, actually, I always struggle to explain this initiative to foreign audience. I'm gonna start maybe with the basics. But previously I worked with the initiative National Anthem around the globe and Lithuanians around the globe. On July 6th, the State's Restoration Day, they all around the world, they stand up at 9 o'clock sharp and they sing their national anthem. So that means that no matter what you do, if you're in the middle of something, if you're working, you quit for a moment and you stand up and you sing together. So this is the basic act, which could be called as a flash mob, global flash mob. Maybe this is the more modern word for that.
So where all this idea about singing Lithuanian national anthem around the world came from?
We were celebrating Lithuania's 1,000 years anniversary, and the Lithuanian yacht Amber Sail was sailing across the Lithuanian communities around the globe and inviting them to celebrate Lithuania's 1,000 years. They were trying to come up with some idea of what could be the act that could be done simply anywhere you are without any special preparation, but that you could join into the festival and feel part of the community, the Lithuanian community. And the idea of actually singing national anthem at the time, it seemed somehow boring because we were used to singing national anthem just for the formal occasions, especially for people who remember Soviet times. And at the beginning, the team did not really believe the idea themselves, but then they kind of tested it with some of communities, and they thought that maybe that could work. And in 2009, it was the first time when Lithuanians joined.
So for the listeners that haven't participated in this celebration, can you tell us, how does it feel like to be singing national anthem together at the same time with Lithuanians around the world?
It gives you shivers because, to my opinion, when you're singing your national anthem in the close circle of your friends, of your family, it's more intimate and it's your confession to your country, to your roots. You're confessing love, basically. And it's very, very touching for me, it seems. And I think that for a lot of people. And I think because of that formality and because people who joined this initiative, they kind of felt the power of it and how strong actually it is when you suddenly realize that you have something in common together. No matter how much you fight with each other, you might have your differences and you might disagree on things, but then you stand up together and you sing, and then you realize, we fight because we care and we have something. We both care, we all care.
So how did you convince people around the world to join this initiative and continue for so many years?
Every year you're trying to think of the new angle, of the new message, how to persuade. And then I had a talk with one person. He said some words that struck me and actually changed the way I worked, the attitude towards communication of this initiative and the way I work here at JLL. Because he said, Aušra, I think that if people need to be persuaded to sing their national anthem, maybe they should not sing then. Let's sing. And if you don't feel that, that's okay.
Wow, it's very interesting. You actually shifted from sort of top-down approach to more bottom-up, saying that this is completely okay and that people should own it. The national anthem and this celebration should be their own thing. So, how did it go? Was it successful? Change in the attitude? Did you see any difference in the mood, in the people who came?
Yes, of course. That's why, well, for one thing, it became much more fun to work. You didn't work with skeptics. You only worked with the people who actually want to organize this, and they start coming up with lots of ideas, and it becomes into kind of explosion of all the initiatives and you know, all the videos that we were receiving and trying to make it into one nice video cut, and positivity, because you are not responding to skeptics, not organized by, not theirs, it becomes ours, it becomes everybody's who's involved. That means that everybody who's involved, they carry a responsibility to invite more people. They become a part of this movement. It's not that they've been told to do something, but they have become a part of it. So, and I think that is a very strong...
Yes, becoming into movement is very powerful. Afterwards, you created another project called 4 Million. What was the main purpose of it?
So for us, it was this Lithuania 4 million, and also this national anthem was important in terms that to bring this message to Lithuanians inside the country, that people who actually left Lithuania, that yes, they left physically, but they never left in their hearts. They didn't stop being Lithuanians. They didn't stop caring about this country. Of course, I'm not living in this romantic dream that it applies to everyone. Of course, it doesn't. But I think it comes down to a personal level of consciousness and personal level of self-awareness, and how much, because at some point in your life you still come back to the question of your roots, of where you're from and what is important for you. And this is part of the process of getting to know yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? So, and when people who emigrated realized those roots, and they realized that Lithuania played big part in who they are right now, they want to contribute, they want to give back. They have this positive attitude in cooperation, in helping in various ways that they can, whether it's cultural or keeping the traditions, but also what we do here in JLL, also helping with their professional knowledge, helping with their professional networks. And I think it's all comes down to the same, your own roots.
So now you are leading one of the largest professional networks of Lithuanian diaspora. Could you shortly tell us about it? And how did your focus change after you became the head of this network?
Personally, for myself, since I was always for some years already working in this field of Lithuanian diaspora and the connection of Lithuanian diaspora and Lithuania. So basically at GLL, what we do is we're working on economical science and youth and public governing sectors. That means that we are basically, for me, it was just a shift from involving people on the emotional level to involving them in some kind of practical level. When I was working with those big initiatives like Lithuania 4 Million or National Anthem across the globe, we were working on them with masses of people, right? We were working with mass communication, with mass participation. At GLL, what I find it very interesting is that I get to dig into personal stories and to get to to know global Lithuanians or Lithuanians living abroad personally. So I would say that our network compared to National Anthem, for example, our network of Global Lithuanian Leaders is very boutique. Because we are joining approximately 2,000 members who are all over the world. They are all high-skilled professionals in what they do, and we also join 22 professional clubs around the globe. And for us, it's very important know our members by their name, by their face, by what they do, by what ideas they can bring to Lithuania, because goal, the way I see it, the GLL, is to be a platform for new ideas to come to Lithuania and to enforce them into being, right? To push that they're being implemented, or to discuss them with the Lithuanian society and see what can be done together. So that's why it's so important for us to know our members, to know what they have in mind, what they have experiences, what is important for them personally, so that we could involve our members into this innovative idea exchange and innovative idea implementation in Lithuania.
Yes, so maybe the last question, as we are talking now on Lithuanian Dream Podcast, and you are one of the Lithuanian dreamers who is building Lithuania and making it grow, what is your dream for the future, for us Lithuanians globally, for the upcoming years, decades? And
well, we are a small country, right? We always have this in the back of our minds. We always carry this idea that we are all responsible for that this country actually lives and thrives, and it's up to each and every one of us, because there are so little of us. Yes, that's why maybe for some big countries it's difficult to understand why even sometimes look like nationalistic, especially when talking to Germans. And for German history experiences is completely different from the perspective of Germans when they see our national pride, the way we carry it with like a pride, and we're trying to preach it to everybody. For them it seems inappropriate, but for us, because we are so small, we feel that each and everyone carry this responsibility that this country stays more like maybe one more 1,000 years at least. And I think that the diaspora, very big part of it, because probably there are at least 1 million Lithuanians living abroad right now. And if we consider that there are only not even 3 million living inside the country. But I would say that some scientists and our initiatives also have proved that there is way more than 1 million living outside, if you are calculating the ancestors and the people who might not even speak Lithuanian, but they are still considering Lithuania their motherland. So we could be talking about in total about 5 million people. So it's like almost half of the population is living outside of the country. There's no question of value. It's just the question is how we live together and how we open to this idea of Lithuania as not only a geographical piece of land, but also as Lithuania as an idea, as value system that you carry, and Lithuania as a network, especially because with the globalization that we are going into, the open borders that everybody can now travel. So, to keep this emotional bond, I think it's very important for the country to actually thrive. In terms, because those diaspora people, the foreign people, they are our actually walking ambassadors. We have almost 2 million walking ambassadors outside of Lithuania. They are our ears, our eyes, our knowledge, a lot of things. We cannot exclude them. To build those bridges so people can understand each other better, and when they can understand and talk to each other, they can contribute with each other better, and they can direct each other's energy and efforts not into fighting with each other, but into working together for the same goal. And I think that both national anthem across the globe, both is kind of a stepping stone maybe to show that we have a lot in common actually, and we can do. And then GLL is the practical implementation of what you can do when you already realize that you want to contribute actually.
Well, it's truly really inspiring, and I think we all can reflect on that. What kind of a Lithuania as idea we have within ourselves, and how can we share it with each other through the national anthem, or maybe joining other Lithuanians abroad, or just going and meeting, if you live in Lithuania, Lithuanians who lived abroad, and just talking about the identity and how we all are still Lithuanians, and how can we contribute to that idea. Maybe you would like to hear somebody on this podcast, or have some questions you always wanted to be answered about Lithuania, or some interesting Lithuanian. Feel free to contact us on Lithuanian Dream Podcast at gmail.com, simply by writing us message on Facebook page Lithuanian Dream Podcast. Thank you, and looking forward to sharing yet another great story next week.